We just got through walking through adjusting the brake and getting it back into specs for the 7, 8, and 9 series balers. Now we're going to work with the 0 and 1 series, a little different braking system on these newer balers. Customers wrapping the rubber roll with a 0 series baler. There is no torque wrench spec. This one is a visual check on these balers. So you need to come over to the access door over the net wrap actuator, open the door, and we're going to look right in that same cubby hole we were looking at earlier. And what I'm looking for is the net wrapped tight around that steel roll. Is there a loop in that net? And in this case, there is a bit of a loop in the net. So I'm going to adjust the band brake on this 0 series baler. You can see the new band brake system. The band goes around the drive pulley a lot more positive braking. It's going to last a long, long time before you need adjustment. What we're really looking for, this bolt here is actually kind of a timing bolt. It actually tells the brake when to engage to cut off your net. So if it's not in specs, we can have feeding problems. So that's what we're going to try to check. So you take your scale, there's what's called a spring block in here, and the bolt comes up through it. And what I'm going to measure is from the top of that spring plug to the bottom of the bolt head should be somewhere between 5 and 7 millimeters to be within spec. You always want that to be within spec, 5 to 7 millimeters. So in this case, I got just a little bit of a loop in there, which could be causing my net to wrap the rubber roll. So I'm going to look at this close, and I'm actually just barely 5. And I can adjust this, so I want to make it higher. I want to be up to 6 or 7, but keep it in that range of 5 to 7 millimeters. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this bolt just a little. So I'm going to hold this spacer block. It's got some grooves cut for your wrench. And then I'm going to break the locking nut loose down here at the bottom. And you need to follow this procedure. If you don't do this correctly, you can damage this band brake system. So I loosen the locking nut, and then I'm going to turn this timing bolt either in or out, but I need to stay within the 5 to 7 millimeter spec. Okay, so I'm going to increase the length of this a little bit. I'm going to go from 5 millimeters to 6. Go make a few, tighten this lock nut back up, go make a few bails, and look in that access door and see what I see. Okay, if I go too far, I'm making that brake come on before the counter knife has slipped over the sharp edge of the cutoff knife, and now I'm trying to stop the rubber roll, so I'm actually pulling the net apart. That can get you in a lot of feeding problems. And it's real easy to tell. All you got to do is open that access door, look in. If the net is all shredded along that steel roller, you've got it coming on too quickly. You need to back it back down below 7 millimeters. Okay? If you're still getting that loop, I need to get up closer to that 7 millimeter mark. If it's perfect, you open that access door, that net will just be wrapped right tight around that steel roll in perfect condition, and everything will work great. Okay, now we've went through a lot of information here on the 7, 8, and 9s, and now the 0s and 1 braking systems. But I'll just tell you, wrapping the rubber roll today is pretty much a fault of low brake torque. So you just need to know this brake adjustment. Don't be afraid to open up your operator's manual. Look in there for the specs. We've covered a lot of numbers. We've done a lot of things. So just make sure you refer to the operator's manual. But that will really help stop net from wrapping the rubber roll. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.